Welcome back into Georgia High School Sports Daily, powered by IBEW Local 613. We are at the Breda Pest Management Sports Desk, and now we're going to welcome on St. Pius head baseball coach Kevin Ksionzyk. Again, Coach, I hope that I'm saying your last name somewhat close to correct.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Better than most, so all good.
Perfect. Coach, in the first round of the playoffs, your team swept Central Carrollton. Just talk about this matchup and what you saw from your team.
Yeah, Central is a very good team. Their coach, Riley Presnell, does a great job. They were young, but they showed some grit. I think one thing that's important, we've been in the playoffs since I've been involved since 2021. So we've got some experience. I think our kids finished region play strong. We were prepared for the matchup. And we didn't do anything different, right? We scouted our opponent. We got some intel. We really just practiced the way we've been practicing all year. And we put it together at the right time. But yeah, in Central, they're a great program. They'll be back in the mix next year, I imagine.
And, Coach, I also want to ask about the second round your team swept Blessed Trinity. We were just talking about this, but a very competitive matchup, a very competitive Blessed Trinity team. Talk about what you saw from your team in this matchup as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's so the last time we had to go to Blessed Trinity, it's been since 2021. They're the other school in the Archdiocese of Atlanta, so that always adds a little a little hyper focus on the matchup. I will say, getting the opportunity to start prep early, right, not having to play for a game 3, that definitely helped. They are very good. They are well coached. Their kids are incredibly talented. They played hard. The biggest thing I can say, I think our pitching led the way. Colton Sumter was awesome, and he's fully healthy. And I think kind of finding his groove now. Royce Woodson behind the plate. He does a great job keeping hitters off balance and just, receiving well and doing a good job to keep our pitchers calm. We played really good defense and we got timely hitting. I mean, they have, as deep a pitching as you'll find in the state. And I thought our guys, we had a really good approach. We kind of knew what we were looking for. And then, of course, you got to execute. So it was all 3 phases. And I think, too, from a senior standpoint, right, like Easton Bailey at third base, simple play, but he laid down a big-time bunt, on a mid-90s fastball. It's not easy to do, but that's the kind of stuff that we've been doing, right, that really helps us win.
Then, Coach, last season you guys were 34-4, most wins in school history. You guys matched up with Cartersville in that third round, came up short in that series. Now you got Cartersville again. This season's been a little bit different, though. It's not that 34-4 season, 21-13. But how do you feel your team's battle-tested heading into this Cartersville matchup this year?
Yeah, well, I think that's really the whole point of scheduling the teams that we schedule. We know that we're working to find our identity as we play every game, right? We're working to get pitchers ramped up. The result of the game is not always going to tell you how good you are, right? No excuses here, but we weren't fully healthy for a period of time. I feel like we're to that point. Hitters are getting timing down. Yeah, and I think the reason you play the Carrolltons and the North Gwinnett's and Marist, I'd play them even if they weren't in our region. The Denmarks, right? The reason you play these teams is to help you for moments like these. And we're definitely looking forward to Cartersville. Very good team. Coach Tucker does an awesome job. Ware does a great job too. Cartersville's a shorter drive for us, so that part definitely helps. And it's hard to forget last year, so we definitely, are looking forward to this matchup.
And then, Coach, I want to ask about the growth of this team. Since about the midway part of the season, it feels like there's been a turn in the team where early on in the season, y'all were struggling in some of those closer games to get those wins. But since that point, y'all have really dominated those 1 or 2 run games. Just talk to me about that.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, one thing, and I remember my coach in college, Tommy Eason up in Greenville, North Carolina, he always talked about how our season is a marathon, right, and not a sprint. Now, it goes by fast, but I think the biggest thing is staying committed to the process, right? Yes, you want to win. That's absolutely important. It builds confidence, but really committing to like your practice effort, right? Really committing to discussions and learning from the games, right? Watching film. I think our kids do a great job with that. Just picking up on little things that I think help make the game what it really is. And it's the same game. The same formula has worked for 100 years. And you want to try to keep it simple and not get like too fixated on, you know, results or, you know, the opponent.
And then, Coach, I wanted to ask about just this pitching in the playoffs. Only 4 runs so far throughout the entire playoffs. Just talk to me about that and how much that has helped your team and how much it's helped y'all get ready and stay rested for this next round of the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's huge. Whether you can end a game early, right, and limit pitches, or you have a guy go 7. I mean, Colton Sumter has been as good as I've seen. He was a big part of what we did last year, right? So he has experience. He's only a junior. Cole Cerrone, right, is finding his way as well, and he's got great stuff. You know, and being able to go 4.2 against the BT lineup, right? It helps, and then that way too, I can limit some of the pen guys, you know, and kind of play some matchups a little bit. And I think that we're in a good place with guys that are prepared, you know, and that have really progressed to help at this point. And it does help too. You know, I think it's hard to find a true like slam the door closer type guy, but we have that in sophomore Connor Tisver. Like it's a big asset to have. Even last game, he told me, he was like, "I can get 6 outs for you tonight, Coach." And he just kind of one of those guys that has that mentality for that role, which is great to have.
And then, Coach, I want to ask about the chemistry with this group of athletes. Just talk about that relationship and bond you've been able to see unfold through the season.
Oh yeah, I mean it's awesome. I mean the thing that's great for me, right? Like here I'm between classes. Shout out to I actually have a class right now, AP Computer Science Principles. So shout out to my 6th period class. But we got a nice mix of seniors, juniors, sophomores. I even brought up a freshman to help us with some catching because we dealt with an injury. But it's all about relationships. Like everything that I do, that we do, is all about relationships. I spend as much time with these kids and they spend as much time together as anybody in their life, right? And we experience the tough moments and the great moments together. And it's definitely helped us, right? And we've learned from past teams that have really kind of set the mark, right, for, you know, what the culture of the program is like. And they buy in, right? They buy in. They're coachable. And it seems simple, but like they go out to eat together, right? They talk about music. They're in the same classes together. It's just a lot of stuff that we do together as a team, and the chemistry's good.
And Coach, I want to ask about that game 2 against Busted Trinity. They took that 1-0 lead in the first. You guys put up 7 runs in the top of the second, one of the more explosive offensive outputs. Just what got you guys going, and how were you able to preserve that lead?
Yeah, well, I think so. First, you know, always tell them, right? I mean, we give up a run, right? We got a lot more baseball left to play, right? And if we're going to win the game, we're going to have to score a run anyhow, right? But I think the big thing was we kept their pitcher in the zone, right? I think we forced him to throw strikes, which is good, right? Because it has to make him work a little harder. And then, you know, I mean, going back to that, like taking a walk is big for the team, right? So it was a bunch of team guys finding a way to just get on base. And then when we got our opportunities, right, we executed, right? Like if you're going to get the pitch that you're looking for to be successful, you're going to have to hit it in a gap or in a hole or, over someone's head, right? And so we did that. And then the pen came up big. But, yeah, I think, like, offensively, it was just, we knew we had time left. We had quality at bats. We found a way to get on base, right? And, we just kept battling.
Again, that was St. Pius head baseball coach Kevin Ksionzyk. Coach Ksionzyk, thank you so much for joining us today, and best of luck to your team as the postseason continues.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate what y'all do. And y'all have a great day. Go Lions.
We're going to be right back after this short break with more Georgia High School Sports Daily.